Welcome to the program Health and Beyond. In this program, we have up-close interviews with professionals in the health sector to enlighten communities on health-related issues as well as other topical issues beyond health. The program comes face-to-face with people who have valuable information for public consumption. Yeah, once again, welcome to our program, Health and Beyond. And today we are going to be talking breastfeeding against World Breastfeeding Week for 2026. And today we'd like to start with a communique from the director of the Cameroon Baptist Convention, CBC Health Services, Mr. Ngum Samuel, which reads, the Cameroon Baptist Convention, CBC Health Services, joins the international community to celebrate World Breastfeeding Week every year from August 1 to 7. This year, 2026, it is celebrated under the theme, Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start in Life, Strengthen What Works. This year's theme focuses on tracking progress and evaluating breastfeeding impact on nutrition, food security, and poverty reduction, with highlights of successful implementation and lessons learned. Protecting, promoting, and supporting breastfeeding will ensure optimum nutrition, food security, and poverty reduction. Breastfeeding saves both the infant and maternal lives. It also supports nutrition, development, and lifelong health. Breast milk is a low-cost, locally available nutrition for all, hence promoting equity with economic returns to families and nations. This year's campaign centers around 4 core objectives. 1, educate the public and stakeholders about the importance of tracking and evaluating progress in breastfeeding. 2, integrate breastfeeding policies and guidelines across the one chain of support, communities, governments, and health systems. 3, foster collaboration among individuals, civil society organizations, and governments to enhance ongoing support. And 4, trigger actionable improvement in breastfeeding protection, promotion, and support based on documented successful strategies. Breastfeeding is one of the most effective ways to ensure child survival, and yet currently fewer than half of infants under 6 months old are exclusively breastfed. For this reason, continuous sensitization on optimal breastfeeding practices. Given that breast milk has no rival in terms of infant feeding options, successful breastfeeding accounts for every strong and powerful workforce in every community. I therefore call on you this week to join the national and international communities to promote activities that support breastfeeding led by our Nutrition Improvement Program. The importance of breastfeeding cannot be overemphasized. A poorly breastfed community is a weak community. You are here today because somebody offered to give you her breast milk. Promote breastfeeding. Thank you. Signed, Director of Health Services for the Cameroon Baptist Convention, Mr. Samuel Ngum. Thank you. As we have just heard today, we are going to be talking breastfeeding, and in the studio today, we have 3 experts, some from the Nutrition Improvement Program that has just been mentioned here, and we would like to have them introduce themselves.
For Magdalene, Nutrition Counselor.
I am Kingang Berenice, Nutrition Counselor, Nutrition Improvement Program Supervisor.
And I'm Paul Murray. I'm the Humanitarians Coordinator for the organization, and I'm also the Program Manager for the Emergency Nutrition Response Program in the Northwest, supported by UNICEF.
Thank you very much and welcome. I would also like us to start with the definition of basic words. We are talking about breast, we are talking about feeding, and by extension, breastfeeding. Can you let our audience know exactly what these 3 words refer to?
Okay. breast or the breast is the upper front of the chest, and in humans it is called the mammary glands. And the female breasts are structured in a way that they can produce milk for feeding infants.
Yes, Madam Maureen, feeding, as she has just mentioned. What is feeding?
To add to it, the breast actually is meant to feed. That is why it only lactates when there is someone to feed on it.
And feeding now is that action of giving the food to the baby.
Okay, now, who breastfeeds?
Breastfeeding is a two-way kind of thing between a mother and a baby. So a mother feeds the baby and the baby breastfeeds from the mother. So therefore, breastfeeding is feeding the baby. Breastfeeding is actually feeding the baby with breast milk from a mother.
Thank you very much. By all what you have just said, breastfeeding is very important because the mother breastfeeds the child. Why is breastfeeding important? I'm sure there are so many reasons why it's important.
Breastfeeding is very important because the breast milk itself, it contains all the nutrients in its correct proportion that the baby needs, especially within the first 6 months of life. It has the antibodies that helps in fighting infection, and it brings that comfort. A mother breastfeeding her child, she has that satisfaction that she's doing something. And to the baby, it helps in the brain development. Looking at breast milk is when the child feeds on breast milk, within the first 2 years of life, the baby's brain is able to develop up to 80%. And when the child feeds on breast milk, that helps in fortifying the development of the brain. And breastfeeding, when the child is breastfed, you see like the colostrum, that is the first milk that the mother produces within the first 5 days after delivery. It helps to expel the waste from the baby's system, and that too is considered as the first vaccine because it's packed with a lot of nutrients that helps the child to kickstart life. And so when a child breastfeeds, it's very important for the baby.
Thank you very much. I love that aspect you said about the comfort that the child even gets from the mother. It also has to do with bonding from that very tender age. I trust that you also have some reasons why breastfeeding is important to add up to this, because all of us have also been mothers and we have breastfed. So why do we think it's important?
Okay. She has talked much about breastfeeding, importance of breastfeeding to the baby. I will talk about the importance of breastfeeding to the mother.
The mother, right?
Yes. So the first importance of breastfeeding to the mother is the fact that when a mother breastfeeds, she recovers fast from the postpartum depression. So as she continues to breastfeed, for example, her womb gets back to its normal position as she breastfeeds. And then breastfeeding is so convenient to the mother. She doesn't need to prepare any things for feeding the baby because the breast milk is available at all the time, and it is in the right temperature.
Yes.
So it is convenient for the mother. And so she too can save money because she doesn't need to buy. It is available and natural. She doesn't need to buy anything before feeding the baby. And again, breastfeeding helps to reduce the risk of breast and ovarian cancer.
Yes, Berenice, I want to take this opportunity again to thank you for talking about the importance of breastfeeding, even to the mothers. And I trust that when breastfeeding mothers come to the clinic, they are also told what to eat in order to replenish the breast milk well. And I think after this, Madame Magdalene is going to tell us a little bit more about all of this information to mothers who are breastfeeding and how they are also supposed to feed themselves. And Maureen says she still has something to add to that.
It was coming in to add the economic importance of breast milk. like she said, you don't need to buy, you don't need fuel to prepare it, you don't need anything. So it's actually really a good cost-saving method for the mothers, especially now in the context of the crisis where many of the mothers, they're IDPs and all of that. Some don't even have good places where they can sit and prepare food for the children. Don't neglect your breast milk. It's very balanced, it's very complete, and it can help you even when you're economically down. Thank you.
Thank you. What should these mothers do to make sure that the breast milk is good and healthy and always available?
Yes, the first thing for the milk to be good and always available, their mental state is very important. When a woman is stressed up, the secretion will drop. So the first thing is for their mental states to be stable, not to be stressed up, and they need good rest. And when you rest well, the hormones too, they will be activated and they will be able to secrete well. And one very important thing, the milk comes from what the mother eats. As a nursing mother, if you don't eat well, you will not be able to secrete. So we do encourage them to take a balanced diet. Taking a balanced diet here is not about using so much money, but using what you have and making sure that what you are eating is balanced and you take enough meat. You know, the breast milk itself, about 90% of breast milk is constituted by water. So they need to drink much water in order for the milk to flow well. And when that is done, eating well, we can say 3 meals per day. And if you are not able to have the 3 meals and this soup, you should be able to take 2 meals in a day. And for the milk to be able to flow well, the frequency of you breastfeeding, it will activate the hormones to flow more, to produce more milk. So we do encourage frequent lactation.
Okay.
When you put a child frequently to breast, your hormones are being activated and you'll be able to produce more milk.
Thank you. Now, I would like us to go into exclusive breastfeeding and mixed feeding, differentiate the two and the importance, and who is supposed to do both. So,
exclusive breastfeeding here, when we talk about exclusive breastfeeding, it's giving the child only breast milk within the first 6 hours, within the first 6 months of life.
yes.
From birth, meaning from the first hour of life to when your baby is 6 months of age. And mixed feeding here is giving the child breast milk and other breast milk substitutes. It could be formula milk, it could be pap, it could be any other thing in addition to breast milk when the child is not up to 6 months. Now, when the baby is receiving exclusive breastfeeding, we are sure of the immunity of the child, because within the first 6 months of life, that child's immunity is still developing. And so the child depends solely on the mother's antibodies. So the more the mother breastfeeds the child, the more she fortifies the child's immunity. And the breast milk, within the first 6 months, we said it is balanced. The nutrients are in place to meet the child's needs at that age. It doesn't need something again to add to it for the child to take a balanced meal. The milk itself is already balanced. And having known that breast milk it contains antibodies, when you give the child any other thing, you're already about altering the child's system, and the immunity will not be as fortified as if the child took only breast milk. And digesting the formula too or any other substitute, the child will strain in digesting it. And by so doing, it is a gateway for other health challenges to start setting in. And we say the milk is produced by the mother and the child takes milk from the mother. The digestion already took place and the child is just to consume. But when the child takes other substitutes, it is not from a human being. The child needs to go through the process of digestion before using the food. And by so doing, that one opens the chances for other health challenges to come in. So we are saying that when a child takes other breast milk substitutes, that is not recommended. Yes, it's true, there are some situations that the child needs to go by formula feeds, like in the case where the breast milk is not available, even donated breast milk. That in such a case now, the child may be forced to take the formula feeds.
Thank you. You've just brought in this aspect, and it leads to a question that I wanted to ask Maureen. In situations of the humanitarian crisis, we know that there are some children whose mothers have died. And then, how do we manage this? Or in situations where maybe the breast milk is not enough, given that these mothers also find themselves in some conditions that their breasts cannot really produce enough breast milk. What do you do? What's the intervention that is done for this gentleman?
Okay, thank you so very much. There's a lot of counseling that is given as to what is to be done, but I want to go back a little bit to where she spoke about the mental health state.
Exactly.
And here I want to call on especially the men, when your wives are pregnant, give them the best support, because we already have a lot of mental health stressors in the context of the crisis. Everything is like going south. But when the woman is balanced mentally, it reduces all of those challenges, maybe with the breast not flowing and all of that and all of that. And if we come to a situation where maybe the mother died, I want to take us a little back to the old concept we used to have in the community.
Yes.
They will take the baby to maybe the grandmother who has just delivered.
Yes.
Because that's why we have modernized it to breast banking. I think in the old where CDC has a breast bank in Queen Baptist Hospital. There was one in GBH, I'm sure it's still running. And I read somewhere there's one at the regional hospital in Bamenda. I don't know how it's working, but I think that those are coming in to substitute the practices we used to do.
Yes.
And so by that, we also call on other mothers, please, if you deliver and you're lactating, you're free to come and donate your breast milk to serve a child. Some of these children come even at preterm and the breast is not yet ready. We need breast milk in the bank today. And it's still as good as, because it came still from a mother. And so what we encourage all of the mothers is also take care of your health. That's why we call on them, do your ANC. Don't just carry your pregnancy, you go through, you're not taking your IPT, you're not taking your vaccines and anything. When you deliver, you might have other issues that may even stop you from breastfeeding. But we want to encourage you, take care of yourself. And also above all, know that these children are a blessing from the Lord. And when you know it like that, your mental health will be stable and we will not have scenarios where we have to maybe run around. But we want to call on mothers, please, if you have delivered and lactating, come and donate your breast milk. You will serve a life. Because we are having children whose mothers have died. We're having children who are preterm with a lot of challenges, but we're saving them through this breast banking.
Breast milk banking, it is very important because there are some children that when they are delivered, they don't have the opportunity to have the milk immediately after they are being delivered from their mothers. It could be that maybe the mothers died after delivery, or the mothers were critically sick, or the mothers were unable to secrete milk that will feed the child. And so breast milk from the bank now will help to feed the child. And how do we get this milk in the bank? We get the milk from healthy mothers, meaning mothers who are not on regular medications, mothers who are physically healthy, and we do a lot of screening to be sure that the mother is fine. And when we get the milk, we don't just go to bank the milk. For the milk to be ready for another baby's consumption, it goes through a process of about 48 hours for the milk to be set for another baby, and which we do a lot of tests in the lab to be sure that that milk is fit for another baby's consumption. And when this is done, we bank the milk and we give to babies as needs arises.
Thank you very much. That is one of the things that we were supposed to talk about. That is the breast bank, because a lot of women don't really know that these banks exist. Who contributes breast milk to a breast bank? Very nice.
Okay, the breast bank is the persons or people who contribute to the breast milk bank are lactating mothers, that is breastfeeding mothers. And how do they do it? They do it voluntarily. They come, donate their breast milk because they have seen the need. They have seen the need to donating to a child who is in need, who is not having the privilege to get breast milk from their mother. So breast milk is donated by a voluntary donor.
If there is one other thing that Maureen mentions that I would like us to talk again about, is the fact that men, husbands are supposed to be supportive of their wives, of their children. This starts even from pregnancy to prepare their mental health. It continues even to after birth. I like it for some of the few men, it's not many men, who accompany their wives even when they are coming for clinic. I think the last time I visited your clinic, that was just last 1 week ago. I saw some men, they accompany their wives. It's something that is supposed to be with all the other husbands. Support your wife, support your children at this time, because it also helps in building their mental health and producing more food for the children. And I also think that there are challenges that we listen to these women when they come to us. We listen to their stories. Some of them have success stories. Some of them have challenges. Could you just enumerate a few of them? What do they say regularly?
Some of them, the challenges they have is that some of them will say they desire to do optimal breastfeeding. Optimal here, we are talking about breastfeeding from birth to the child, when the child is of age 2 years will beyond.
Okay.
Some of them will say they desire to do optimal breastfeeding, but their husbands will not allow them do it because of the advantages they've gotten about breast milk. They want their babies to really have those advantages. Some of them will say their husbands, they don't want them to do. Some will say, my husband will say that no, I don't want you to continue breastfeeding. That child is really sucking you. You're really going too pale, losing weight. You're losing weight.
Or the breast will fall.
Or the breast will fall. Yes, the breast will fall. And some, maybe the in-laws, like the mother-in-law, they don't want the woman to do optimal breastfeeding. Talk less of even exclusive breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Some, they leave babies and go to work. Before they come back, the caregivers, they have already given something to the baby, and they are like, I said this child was not to take anything up to 6 months, but coming back, they have already given. So some of the challenges that the women, they do express. And for those that the families, they are supportive to them, they will share their success stories. How their babies are growing very healthy, thanks to optimal breastfeeding or thanks to exclusive breastfeeding. So we have a lot of stories, both success stories and some that are sharing their frustrations. Thank you.
Another challenge that these mothers face is breast conditions. Yes, some of them come complaining of conditions in their breast that will actually cause them not to be able to breastfeed or to practice the best practices of breastfeeding. And some of these breast conditions are things like breast engorgement, where the breast is too full and painful and the baby is not, and it feels very painful when the baby is sucking from the breast. Another one of the conditions is cracked nipples.
Yes.
Where it also feels painful and sometimes it's bleeding. So some of these mothers, they really want to breastfeed, but because of such conditions, they are not able to breastfeed. Another of such breast conditions is poor milk secretion. Some of them really want to breastfeed, but the milk itself is not really flowing well. But like we already mentioned, sometimes we just need to counsel them to make them feed well and drink much so that they will be able to produce enough milk for their babies.
Hello, I am Mali Matanuel. I'm a first-time mom, and we are commemorating Breastfeeding Week. Breastfeeding works. I repeat, breastfeeding works. My personal experience with breastfeeding is that it has helped my baby to grow so well. My baby is so smart. I used to hear at the hospital that it makes the child to be healthy and strong, and I must say I'm a living testimony because I have seen how it has helped my baby. At just 10 weeks old, she's already very, very strong. She looks really big and very healthy, and I believe that it's also helping to prevent her from any illness because we have been strong. We have not come back to the hospital for any little issue. So breastfeeding has been amazing, and I learned about expressing breast milk.
My name is Musi Josephine. I want to talk importance of breastfeeding. I get two picking them, and I know say when you be when you breastfeed your pikin well, the pikin go be sharp for school, and you still cut down your expenses like pikin feeding. If you need to breastfeed pikin well, pikin feed is sick and with the frequent hospital all the time.
My name na Quine Kirsten. I get 4 pikin name. Breastfeeding be, I want to talk about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding be advisable for mothers because I don't breastfeed all my pikin name, and it be healthier and it be economical for mommy them and we parents them. I be Mama Agnes. I be 55 years. I want to share this video for mothers them where they be like me between the age. I don't say and say this breastfeeding, whoa, the feed picking them. I still say the natural feeding it been that this breast milk. I know say and say another natural milk day. I want to talk because I get 9 children, and that 9 children I give them only breast milk. I never go buy artificial for market. Why? Because I see the youth and we women, we never open we hate. We never really open we hate for this breastfeeding. So I want to share with we. Say the breastfeeding it be important. Mo no dey buy this one them for ngongong, buy this one them for ngongong. I know sister now they ready breastfeeding that.
Hello, my name is Etta Charlotte Ayok, and I would like to talk about the importance of breastfeeding. I'm not yet a breastfeeding mother. I've not breastfed a child yet, but I've supported many mothers through the process of breastfeeding. My sisters, my brother's wives, my friends, and I go to ANC to help them vaccinate their children, and during their seminars they talk a lot about the importance of breastfeeding. So based on the few things I've gathered and also what I've read, this is what I have to say. Breastfeeding is very important for a healthy baby. We learned that when we breastfeed a child, first, it helps the child prevent diseases, infections. The child becomes healthy. It also helps in cognitive brain development. The child is mentally smart, and it helps economically because parents don't have to spend on artificial food that sometimes have after effects. Another importance of breastfeeding, no after effects. The baby is happy, the mother is happy, the father is happy, the family is happy, and the community is happy. Thank you.
My name is Fadima Sumengla, and I'm a mom of 3. And talking about breastfeeding, I think I've tried both options, and I'm more comfortable with exclusive breastfeeding because I've discovered that exclusive breastfeeding helps nourish my baby well, and then I've watched the growth, and the child grows well just through breastfeeding. And if we want to talk about the hygienic condition when breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding will be more hygienic because when you go with the artificial breast milk, you have to go through the process of cleaning the containers and the rest and everything. At the end of the day, you discover that you are not too sure with the hygienic condition. But exclusive breastfeeding has helped to nourish my baby, and then I can see that the child is growing very well and normally also. And following the basic ways on which a child is supposed to grow, breastfeeding has really helped my baby.
Promise Young, aka DP Star, from Com, residing in Bamenda. Today I'm in Bingo Baptist Hospital, Bamenda, for my child's 9 months injection. And today is World Breastfeeding Day. So I would like to say this to all fathers, let me make it clear, to all responsible fathers. Not every father is a father. I mean to all responsible fathers. Breastfeeding, like we all see women breastfeeding children, we think that it's very easy. Women go through a lot. So my opinion is, to all fathers, we need to assist our wives. We need to assist them morally, physically, emotionally. Like, you will see a woman who stand pot on top of a gas, then comes back to sit and breastfeed her child. Then you, father, you sit down for your chair comfortably. If you say you be man of the house, say a woman belongs to the kitchen. The wife, she has a lot. A woman plays a lot. She has a lot to offer in the house. So you husbands, at the mention, you might just say, you responsible fathers, assist your wives. Like, you can assist them do laundry. It's not a crime. You can cook. I know say no be all parents if you cook self, but you can try. If you cannot cook, at least help them, support her in cutting spice. You know, easy. Like, when not every woman is privileged to breastfeed a child. Then now, if you are lucky to have that wife who is privileged to breastfeed, then know say that woman no help you a lot. She has saved your money.
Okay. I'm called Cool Happiness. I'm a breastfeeding mother and a mother of one. I want to talk about breastfeeding as a mother. As a mother of one, I've decided that I'll breastfeed my daughter for a period of 2 years. Based on the knowledge I've learned from the health services, especially Mingo, CBC Mingo as a whole, I've seen that it is good to breastfeed my daughter for 2 years so that she will be more healthy. And I think that will be the best for me and my daughter.
Thank you. And now, Bernice, when we talk about even working mothers, I know we are talking about the regular breastfeeding of the child. They are working mothers. What can they do if they really want to maintain exclusive breastfeeding?
Okay, yeah, like the breastfeeding and work, like we were talking about challenges, is still another one of the challenges that can cause some mothers to be frustrated during breastfeeding. And so what we do to these mothers who go to work, leaving their babies behind, is counseling them. We counsel them on expression and cup feeding. We counsel them to express their breast milk, leave it back at home for whoever is staying back at home with the baby, to feed the baby while they are away. And in that way, breastfeeding continues until they come back from work.
We know that breastfeeding is not enjoyed by every mother and not also enjoyed by every child for so many other reasons which we have enumerated. What? Maureen started talking about the context of the humanitarian crisis. This is where we really want to get into this area. What happens really in a context of a humanitarian crisis like what we experience in some of the regions?
Thank you so very much. Some of the things we've seen, especially when you talk to mothers who have been on the move, somebody tells you, I've been running for about 3 days, I've not been able to eat, and so you don't expect that person to be able to breastfeed. Because when they try to feed, this woman needs to eat. So one of the things we're encouraging everybody, we started talking about even women who are working and all of that. Let's all look at how we can make breastfeeding conducive. We encourage even people who are in the move and whatsoever, treat the women who are with children differently. You know, when we talk of inclusion, at times we look at maybe persons with disabilities and whatsoever, but in every situation and in every need, there are people who are of special need. At this point in time, these people are to be valued. They are to be considered. And she made mention of maybe women with other conditions. We've seen other conditions. We've seen some that the mothers died. We've seen some that even in the course of running, they separated and they were not able to trace the mother back. So we now encourage the people to do what we call the infant and young child feeding, counseling in emergencies. They have seen some peculiarities. We teach the women how to use the low-cost supplies that they have to be able to feed well. She made mention of it. One thing that is affecting us is that when we talk of maybe infant and young child feeding, and even to you, the mother, our expectations are high. When I give birth, they're supposed to buy me one big cup of milk. But there is soya beans on our doorstep. If you come to Queen Baptist, you have the best. The sachet is 1,000. And you can take it as you see and you lactate like somebody who drank whatever milk you can think about it. So what we have in our natural environment is good. We just meant to know that you're breastfeeding woman. So live prepared. If something were to happen and you were moving, don't move like any other person. Pick up some things that will help sustain you. And to everybody who is in the society, when you're moving with, when you're displaced with women and all of that, consider the women who are lactating, consider the women who are pregnant, because there are different breed of women. They need some level of support. They are not like maybe you and I who are without child or who are not pregnant. So those are some of the things we give, and we also encourage the people to know that when there is an emergency, women and children suffer. There's not in everything we're doing, in every intervention we're doing, in every programming, there is always a special consideration to ensure that these children don't suffer. They don't miss out on this God-given food, which is very, very vital for them.
And very, very available around us. Thank you very much. The humanitarian workers actually do a lot of information sharing and sensitization in the communities to create that awareness, because there is a lot that people don't do. And I'm very impressed when I see some of the pictures that you share in your work. We see some children who have really lost a lot of weight, almost dying, but you revive them with some of these things that you implement. I would like us, we don't have much time again, to talk a little bit about this year and the theme, as we already heard in the communique sent out by the Director of CBCL Services, which is sustainable start in life. That is breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life. What do you make of this theme this year? Each of you can just share your ideas.
What I will make out of this theme, if you listen to the last part of it, we say this is said that strengthen what works.
Yes.
The foundation of the child's life is marked by how the child is breastfed. And when you breastfeed the child, it carries the child. Like I earlier said, 80% of the child's brain develops within the first 2 years of life. And so when you breastfeed the child, you're fortifying the development of the brain. So I would say to the community that we should encourage women to breastfeed. And if you have challenges breastfeeding, maybe you're not secreting well, or you have breast condition or whatsoever, the nutrition department doors are open. Come to the Queen Baptist Hospital and you will be educated on how to navigate the journey of breastfeeding.
Thank you. Strengthening what works. Sustainable start in life.
And just to add, science has proven it. The best days of every child's start are the first 1,000 days.
Yes.
That is from when the child is conceived to when the child is 2 years. So anything you're taught as a mother to do within these days, please do it, because that's the only way we can ensure that these children have a sustainable start. If you miss out anything here, we've heard about brain development and everything. I don't know what the child will become if the brain does not develop optimally. The child will live a suboptimal life, and that way you cannot talk about a sustainable start in life.
Thank you. Berenice?
Yes, we already made mention of the fact that breast milk is available at all times. So, with strengthening what works for breastfeeding this year, as the team says, is the fact that since breast milk is always available, it actually aids in poverty reduction, because as the mother breastfeeds, she will be able to save money that could have been used for buying other breast milk substitutes for the baby. So it actually helps in poverty reduction.
Thank you very much. Breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life, strengthen what works. I understand that for the 7 days, you have other activities that you have planned to commemorate this 1 week for breastfeeding. What are some of the activities that you have put in place?
The activities we've put in place are from Queen Baptist Hospital to commemorate this year's World Breastfeeding Week. We intend to give educative talks in all OPDs, in the wards, and in the chapels of all the chapels in the station, and to go to churches for sensitizations, and even to radios for sensitization, because the information needs to go out. Because it's written even in the Bible that people perish because of lack of knowledge. So the knowledge needs to go out, And when people hear, they will now implement what they've learned. And also on the celebration proper will be on Friday, which is the 7th, with mothers. We will celebrate the day with nursing mothers who will come for infant welfare.
Thank you very much. And before you give your last words, we are going to see some of the mothers who just shared their personal experiences in breastfeeding. So, what are your last words?
My last words, let's support women who are breastfeeding. The support might be helping her in household chores as a husband, to give her time to rest or to give her
Time to prepare food and breastfeed, or to even breastfeed. You can help her in washing baby's breasts or even to cook food for her. And then, as a family too, as a family, encourage a woman to breastfeed. Encourage those mothers, those nursing mothers by you to breastfeed. Don't use slangs like that pikin don't mix so you still give you bobby for waiting. Encourage her, be an encourager to her.
I will end by saying that breastfeeding is just the best for the children. Let's not deprive them from this breast milk. And I'll say it especially to the fathers. Please don't fight with them over the breast. They will not suck because the breastfeed is their own. They brought the food. So give it to the people. And of course, let them take it up to 2 years and beyond.
Take home message from you. Don't fight with the children over the breast. Yes, Berenice?
My last words to the breastfeeding mothers is that even though breastfeeding might come with some hurdles, we are always available as the Nutrition Improvement Program of Dunquin Baptist Hospital here in Bamenda. We are available to support them and to work with them when it comes to breastfeeding difficulties, so that breastfeeding will continue smoothly and mother and child will be comfortable and continue to breastfeed.
Any contact if somebody wants to get to you regarding breastfeeding? Contact information.
Yes, you can contact us, like I said, Queen Baptist Hospital Nutrition Improvement Program. And you can also call the number 675-428504.
I want to thank you very much for being with us today. And today we had a supervisor and nutrition counselor for the Nutrition Improvement Program of the Cameroon Baptist Convention, Madam Berenice. And we also had an Emergency Nutrition Response Program Manager, Madam Maureen, and Nutrition Counselor, Madam Magdalene. They have shared with us very valuable information today. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, and to thank all the people who are watching us out there, trusting that you have benefited from the information shared on this program today. For presentation, my name is Clementine Anjang Young, and this program is produced by the Communication Unit of the CDC Health Services. Thank you. It's been the program Health and Beyond, where we have up-close interviews with professionals in the health sector to enlighten communities on health-related issues, as well as other topical issues beyond health. The program comes face-to-face with people who have valuable information for public consumption. Thank you for being with us.